part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane.
This is Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action. This is Mark Wade, writer of Superman Worldwide, and you're listening to The Krypton Report.
Hey everybody, I just want to post this so everyone can remember that in January, the Multiverse fundraiser page that I've been a part of will be doing our yearly fundraiser. This time it is for Aortic Heart through the Ritter Foundation. And I want you to go over to their page, check out the notes, and check it out. I will be hosting an interview with the one and only Black Lightning himself, Cress Williams. That's right. Check that out in January. Head on to the page, keep looking on the social, and you'll see more information coming. Any money that is donated goes for a good cause. Check out the Ritter Foundation.
Welcome to the Krypton Report podcast. I'm your host, Tyler, the Superman of Blue, the Man of Tomorrow. And with me, as always, is the Superman of Red, the man who needs no introduction, but yet I still give him one, Mr. James Cole. What's up, Man of Steel?
Yo, 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 yo. Wah.
Whoa!
I don't
Happy
have an
New
air
Year.
horn.
Happy New Year, James.
Happy New Year.
Just technically, this is our first recording of the new year. I threw up my continual conversation about the Superman serials since they're so difficult to get a hold of. But I've been sick for the past week. I literally got sick New Year's Day. When I mean I got sick New Year's Day, I'm talking like Janine and I are up after 12. We're hanging out. Then about 12:30, I just started feeling weird. Then I started just feeling really sick, and I spent all New Year's Day like asleep. On the 2nd, I went to urgent care. So, and so we just haven't recorded anything because I've just been out of it and been sick. So here we are.
Here we are. Glad to be back.
I am glad to be back. Every time I say that, I think of Iron Man 2 with Tony Stark. Oh, it's good to be back. But yeah, so we got a little bit of news. We're going to talk some comics, and we're going to get back into something that most people forgot we even started because it's almost probably been 2 years. I swear, it has to be close to 2 years or a little over.
Well, yeah, I mean, we lost it for a while, and then they released the Blu-ray, and it took just a short time for us to get them. Not too long, but. And then we were doing Superboy, so.
Yep, and you'll hear about that later. But let's get into some news. Okay, first thing up with this news is they really want me to watch an episode of this Gotham Knights series. They're pushing me, man.
They're pushing
me. They're pushing me hard because they showed a little teaser of Misha Collins getting plaster and makeup. And like the prosthetic of like the teeth where they're going to do him full on Two-Face.
Huh.
So all it is him in the makeup chair, and like they put a little like thing of like the teeth and like the lip being bigger. They pour the plaster over him, and then they're like casting and cut. And I'm like, son of a biscuit.
I mean, that's. We did say that, like, we were excited for the idea of him being Two-Face, but then we saw that he, like, wasn't Two-Face.
Yeah, we saw him as Harvey Dent, and I'm like, well, I mean, Gotham did, Harvey Dent for, like, 1 or 2 episodes, then he disappeared forever.
But that was, but that was still, like, the before Batman, not supposedly after Batman's dead.
By the end of Gotham, okay, every Batman villain had appeared but Two-Face, okay? The show became about the villains. But, yeah, they're pushing me hard for this, what do you call it? This Gotham Knights. I'll watch an episode of Misha Collins as Two-Face. I'll flat out tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Just to see his performance. I will watch that.
That will be interesting.
But yeah, that piece of shit is coming soon.
I seriously don't know when, but
it's in March.
I know that it is.
It's in March.
I know we've talked about it. I keep forgetting because I'm not anticipating it.
It's just because they're going to use Superman and Lois as a lead-in and everything. So,
No,
but
well,
you know what else is coming? The final season of The Flash, and we got the final season poster for The Flash, and it's just a pair of gold boots.
I mean, it's a good-looking pair of gold boots.
Yeah, and I think the tagline is just like the final run or something. Like I'm looking forward to my kids. Yeah, there it is. Took like a crap ton of photos playing my phone. Yeah, it's just a pair of gold boots standing to the side, and it says the final run, The Flash final season, Wednesday, February 8th. I mean, it's cool. It's definitely, unique because if you think about it, like when he started, he didn't have the gold boots. So those were just
sir,
added.
He did not.
Speaking of posters, we got some interesting Shazam like promo posters that are, I don't even know how to describe it. It just looks like a bunch of like graffiti, but they're legit. It says "We are the power" and it has like everybody's face. It says Freddy's collection, everybody's face in a lightning bolt. I'm like, okay, this is the marketing you're going to give us? This is crap. We need some serious marketing going on. Come on, it's January. Movie's 2 months away. It's a little over 2 months.
Right. I mean, heck, these days, if you start marketing over 2 months away, it's shorter on the back end before you get to watch it on a streamer than it is. Yeah. Than it is before the movie comes out. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do know what you mean.
Like if they're marketing it for 60 days, then that's more days than it's exclusively in theaters.
Black Adam just dropped this past Tuesday on physical. And it came out the end of October. And then it was about 1 month. It was on digital buy for Thanksgiving. And then another month and a week. And it's physical. So 4 month total from like not even 4 months from release to home video.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hell, not even 3 months.
Yeah, because let's see. The 21st would be a month.
October.
November 21st. Yeah. November 21st to December 21st is 2 months. So yeah, man, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyways, that's.
It's just crazy how fast that's gotten, because I remember waiting forever for movies to come to physical.
Well, dude, when we were little, you had your initial run, then it left theaters and went to the second run movie theaters. Now, kids, second run movie theaters were theaters that were
$2 a ticket.
Yeah, $2 a ticket, cheaper popcorn, everything was cheaper. It was a movie theater, but it was showing movies that had been out for maybe a month and a half. And they're like
things
the Super Saver cinema.
Heck, things that maybe have been out for 2 months, 3 months at the time, it's still around in the secondhand theater.
Yeah, there's been times where there's that little period where they were just hitting to rent. While I was in the secondhand theater, and I mean, originally the model was theatrical release, second run theater, then rental, and then purchase. And then slowly rental and purchase became the same day. And then since streaming started, I can't even remember the last time. It's been over 10 years.
For a long time, it was digital 2 weeks before the physical.
Yeah. I will say at least 10 years, because there was a second run theater in North Carolina when Jenny and I lived there 10 years ago. We never went to it, but that is the last time I remember ever seeing anything about a second run theater. So it's just, I don't know. It's like if you don't see it opening weekend or within the first week, it's like, that's it. Might as well just wait for home release, because the next thing's coming in. And speaking of the next thing, we got a really weird. I don't even know. I did not think it was official. It just looked goofy. Poster. It's not even really a poster. It's like a promo image thing of the Flash movie, and it shows the Flash, Batman, Supergirl, and then other Flash in it. And to me, it looks like they're all like promo shots that were cropped together. It doesn't look legit, but it looks like some of the fake stuff we'd seen, or like test photos that we'd seen kind of just like put together. But
if it was official, it's shoddy.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I mean, I told you, anytime I look at James Gunn's, if he's sharing it or tweeting it or whatever, and because there's a couple, and I bring it up, and I'll reference this. There's been a couple things pop up of people with merchandise, like when it's starting to be released or getting ready. Like I have a picture of, it's the little figures. It's the Ultimate Batwing with the Flash and Batman toy. And it looks pretty cool. I know I'm definitely going to end up buying merch from this movie because Salman loves Batman and Sayla's in love with the Flash. So
right.
I'm going to be spending some cheddar. So I saw that, and then I sent you guys like a picture of the Flash in his suit. That looks pretty cool, actually, from a toy box. It makes the helmet look a lot better. So, and I feel like that's the problem, is we've only seen these crappy images and shots of the suit, of him in the suit. And that's everybody's just, talking about it.
Yeah, well, with that one image you were discussing with all of them, the angle that Ezra was a weird, unflattering angle. Like it looked like he had no shoulders to speak of.
Yeah.
It was weird. It looked like a minion from that angle.
Yeah.
And then I had forgotten, because it had been so long since the teaser trailer had come out, that the other Flash suit was a Batman suit, like spray painted. So when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, what's going on with that neck? Like that's insane." And then you told me that, I was like, "Oh yeah, now I see it now." And I was like, "Oh, I remember it now," but it'd been so long since that teaser had come out.
It looks like the Batman Returns suit. The way the abs are, they've been spray painted over. If you zoom in, you can see where he cut the ears down. It's the Earth 2 Flash, for lack of a better term. But I'm like, if this is not something I would release. So it's gotta be some sort of leak, butchered, put together, but it was worth mentioning it, just because everybody's talking about it. Flash coming June 16th. Woohoo.
Yes.
Soon we'll probably be seeing, like I said, you think you'd start to see something merch-wise, but we're not even seeing Shazam. But also, okay, we're talking, let's jump back, my segue about the Flash TV series. Everybody under their brother's coming back for season 9. Wally West is coming back for season 9. And we got that Stephen Amell as Green Arrow is supposed to be back for season 9.
Yeah, the returning characters, for whatever reason, I think is very interesting, very exciting for the final season of what's basically the final show of the CW Arrowverse.
I think I saw someone say it on Twitter, it was like the Arrowverse Prime, and that's been my favorite. That's been my favorite way of referring to it, because like I've said before, is once they did Crisis and they showed all the other Berlanti produced shows being basically in the same universe, they're all part of the Arrowverse. Stargirl's technically part of the Arrowverse, just it's more on the outside. So this is Arrowverse Prime, This was the second show, It's got a special place in my heart, and I'm gonna, be sad to see it go. And But I look forward to watching it with the kids too. I think I'm going to try to start, I think, a rewatch with Sayla and watch like some of the highlight best episodes of The Flash with her. So I'm just trying to watch them all.
Awesome.
So,
yeah,
and then
sounds good.
We got a picture of Leslie Grace, who just keeps wanting to make us upset. Released a photo of her in what would be her second Batgirl suit. And the suit looks like a Batgirl version of the Dark Knight suit.
Pretty much does, yeah. The from like the plating, what would be the plating design that it looks like on like the legs and stuff, and the side of the suit. I know I made that comment. Very reminiscent of the Dark Knight suit, but it looked good.
Yeah, it does.
And it
look
looked
good.
like a behind the scenes suit, and it looked good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Behind the scenes suits, sometimes there's different suits for stunts and not stunts, and then sometimes there's CGI touch-ups that are put on. She also released a picture of her wearing the Batman mask with a beanie on top from a scene that's where she actually like used the original Bat costume. And so, yeah, it's still a sore spot and bummer.
Oh, it is. It's always, especially when something made it as far through production as that did.
Just leak it and we'll blame it on somebody. Find somebody.
Somebody gonna get fired. Somebody gonna get
Walter
prosecuted.
Walter Hamada released it. The next thing I wanted to point out is, people have said it was on Hulu, but I feel like it was on and off Hulu a lot. But Justice League Action is on Amazon Prime. So if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can go and watch Justice League Action. Which part of me wants you and me to tackle Justice League Action. Maybe we'll do some Justice League Action after we finish the first season of Legion, just because you have access to it. Like we both own Legion, so we're good. We're safe,
Yeah.
I own Justice League Action. You don't?
I do.
So...
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I own it digitally.
Okay, then never
on
mind.
Prime, actually.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it. And then the last bit of news I have is, in a message tweet, James Gunn made the statement that he is 1/3 of the way writing an unannounced DC TV show. How does that make you feel, James?
Until at this point, I've kind of just been in a holding pattern. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't delved for every ounce of news because most of it, unless it's coming from him, is just, it's been scooper stuff for months. So yeah. I don't know. I've kind of been on standby mode, waiting to see when DC Studios and James Gunn start to announce some upcoming projects. That's what I am kind of just waiting for. So the idea that he is, I mean, that's exciting, but I can't really speculate on where or how it's going to begin to go. Is it going to be something brand new that's going to be DCU? Is there going to be a separation in anything, or is it all going to be synergy? HBO Max movies.
I'm at the point where
so up in the air right now. I just think
I think much from HBO Max.
I don't think there will be like HBO Max like originals. I think if there's anything like when it comes to it, I think it'll be DCU, HBO Max, like the whole thing. Like, not that it's Disney Plus MCU content. You know what I mean?
See, I don't even know if they'll do that, because I just got this feeling.
Maybe not even as much. If for a little while. I don't know what the idea would be moving forward at this point. And that's why I'm just kind of in a holding pattern. I can't really get excited about like just random tweets because I'm like, it's nothing's in production. I'm waiting to see the movies that we know or that we, that are still coming that we know of.
See, I'm with you. My biggest fear, okay, based on just patterns and stuff, is that while DC Universe and HBO Max was all about consolidating the DC property, I feel like Zaslav's going to start selling again. So we're going to start seeing it'll all be connected or something, but you'll have to like be on Netflix for this series, Amazon for this series, HBO for this, like, or it'll start to be like, well, like I told you, with the stuff that's being taken off HBO Max, I'm just expected to see it pop up on a different streamer like the next day or something. Like they're going to start selling stuff back off to make money because it seems like that's what they want to do is get out of this debt. Now, since we're talking about Gunn, James, I decided that it's been 1 year, roughly, give or take, since you did your little stint as part of the DC Extended Universe where you were the stand-in for John Cena's underwear in the scene in Peacemaker and Suicide Squad. I decided to go back and watch Peacemaker, and I binged Peacemaker because I wanted to see how does Peacemaker hold up a year later, because we're about to sometime this month, people, I swear to the Lord above, James and I are going to watch and talk about The Suicide Squad in our commentary. We've only been trying to do this for months, but sometime we will be doing this in the next month, maybe two.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of plan on it, and then life happens, and then certain things we have to cover, so it just keeps getting pushed.
Yeah, there's always those factors when it's a lot harder when it's rated R sometimes, because I gotta find time to watch without the kids. But so I'm thinking, okay, Peacemaker. I feel like Peacemaker 1, this is James Gunn unleashed. This is James Gunn doing James Gunn. He's writing, he's directing, he's producing. And that's okay. Okay? I look at it as he's a strong writer, but he has his own flavor. And then I think about things, of other writers and directors who have produced stuff and how there might be something that's there similar to it, because everyone's so afraid that everything that he's going to produce is going to be in his flavor. And I don't see that. I see it as him doing his stuff, and then when he produces, So I'm not super worried at the moment of him producing anything, because the guy has written other projects for other people and been a part of different things where he's not, the director, the filmmaker, the visionary.
Exactly. He's written and produced other things that that don't have his style.
It's kind of like, one of my favorite directors is James Wan. Okay. James Wan has been a producer and an overseer on all the Conjuring universe films, but he didn't direct all of them, and you can see where, I can see where Wan is part of this, but it's definitely not a James Wan film. Steven Spielberg, that guy, that little filmmaker, who I'm talking about, that little guy.
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, maybe. He was a producer on the Bayformers films. So I guess that's what we're calling them now. And the Michael Bay Transformer movies, Bayformers.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
I know you did, but I was just
the first time
I saw that in an article where people were trying to discern, he produced those, but they're not his films. I wouldn't be like, Steven, what have you done? And those are just, some examples of just why I'm not too concerned with James Gunn being the head of a studio. It's a different hat to wear, than being the person who it's, hey, this is yours to do with. So back to Peacemaker. I think Peacemaker, it's really well written with the core, the character development, the way that you feel, the arcs and everything. It's well directed. The action is top notch and everything. But I'll be honest, I didn't laugh as much rewatching it, and it is a lot to take in binging that show. The low hanging fruit, as you had referenced it, humor before, and the obsessive repetitiveness of certain words isn't as funny when you're watching episode back to back to back to back.
I can see that.
It's pretty. I mean, it's funny and you enjoy it more when you're watching like every week. You're like looking forward to it, and you're like, "Oh, that's great." When you go back and you rewatch it, and you watch the whole episode, then you watch the next one, and you're like, "All right, man. Like, did you have like 5 words in your vocabulary? That's a little excessive." Some like the fart jokes and stuff like that. Like, all right, it's not playing well the second time. It's not playing connected like this.
Yeah. I mean, that is what we discussed watching it the first time around was, it's very low hanging fruit, very lowest common denominator humor and stuff. But, the writing and the character development was very intelligent.
So I'm just saying on a rewatch of a binge version,
right?
It's not that. It's just it wasn't as strong as I had hoped. I probably won't watch it again. Maybe it'll be like a long time, but I feel like it was cool to certain parts and everything, and I enjoyed John Cena especially. So I do look forward to a second season. To see where they go with certain plot threads. And there's a couple things I had forgotten, a couple name drops here and there. But yeah, 1 year since Peacemaker, man.
Yeah, I was just thinking, me and Jamie were just talking about that the other day, that I could do a rewatch of Peacemaker, that I want to. And I was just thinking how, like, I would rather buy that physically right now, because I still haven't bought the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, interesting. I would rather buy that physically and have that and watch that again first before I even watch the Suicide Squad again.
Interesting. Yeah, I bought the Suicide Squad. But you know what's funny is I bought it, but I've yet to watch my copy since I bought it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got it on sale. And I didn't buy, like we've been over this, but I didn't buy anything for Black Friday because they screwed me over at Walmart. But anyways, that's a previous episode.
Yes.
Now it's time to, let's get into some comics, James. Do you want to get some comics? What we got? We got a little bit. Nothing huge. What we talking about today, James?
Comics. I mean, the one that I have offhand is Dark Knights of Steel.
Yep.
So, I hadn't picked up World's Finest from the shop. I haven't gotten one of those since number 8.
Okay, so I have 9 and 10. Are they on Ultra yet?
So 9 is on Ultra.
So we're going to shift that book to an Ultra. So we'll do that one. But yeah, let's talk
9 is. 10 should be coming probably next week.
So let's talk Dark Knights of Steel. Number 9 of a 12-issue run. That seems like it's taking forever. You want to take
there was a hiatus there in the middle after 6?
Yeah. It seemed like there was 6, and then there was that special. This is one I might have to buy. Like, I would like to own this hardbound collected edition.
Yeah.
Just to pop off the shelf and here, check this out.
Exactly. So Dark Knights of Steel number 9. I mean, you had messaged me and you said, "Wow," and I was like, "Awesome." So I couldn't wait to get it, and I didn't get to go pick up my book, but I will. But I read it, and yeah, so good. It's just a great series with the DC universe in this old world, kings and knights and castles and all that. We open up Amazonia War. Kal-El has been imprisoned. He's tied up with magic lasso, so he can't escape, and he is being released by Cassandra, one of Batman's Robins. But she's spent a lot of time as a spy on Amazonia. She's stopped this war. Prince Kal-El, take the power of truth with you. Given the lasso of truth. He flies, and last we left this book, we had Queen Lara cut in half and kill Queen Hippolyta.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Like, I mean, I forgot that's where we ended because I was just like, it had been a while, so I was like, yeah, all right, that's right. I was like, holy
right. So she has, so she's there. Lara, you're a monster. You and Queen Laris, you brought armies here, Queen Pierce. Let there be war. We will wipe you out. And battle starts to ensue. Lara flies away. Kal-El shows up, Mother, and he gets decked. He gets hit. So right there, to me, that was another giveaway that wasn't one of the Kryptonians.
Yeah, it was not who we thought it was.
Yeah, because we've been seeing lots of stuff where it's not who we thought it was committing these acts. And it's really cool because, like, Kal-El crashes to the ground and says, in everyone's defense, when Kal-El fell, it truly looked like another Kryptonian was attacking. Because, I mean, like, he hits the ground and it's going to create a crater. So now Diana is queen. Kal-El's, I don't know what happened here, but please listen to me. And Diana goes on the attack. Knocks Kal-El across the battlefield, and General Waller screams for the soldiers to head out and fight.
Then
got
the
Queen
Man shows up.
Yeah, got Queen Pierce like creating like earthquakes. She's got earth manipulation powers. Then the Green Man shows up. The Jokerized Luthor with the power ring.
That's not amalgamism for trouble. Then I don't know what is.
Yeah, right. A Jokerized Luthor with an evil lantern ring. Yeah, that's like pretty terrifying.
And then we have, it's scary.
Right. We have some lightning thrown in the air. He's attacking. He's killing everybody. The Green Man. And it's really awesome, this shot. We got General Waller, and we've got Deadshot.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Because I was like, wait, we haven't seen him yet, have we?
No, we haven't really met him or nothing. But it's really cool the way that in these books, like this book, like Deceased, like so everybody from the in Injustice, everybody from the DC universe is just like pulled in, whether they're just an image or being used for the story, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they draw their bows on my command, and then up comes fire, roaring, and we got Batman riding a dragon.
Yeah,
John Constantine is shocked.
I was reading this in the car, and over my shoulder, Solomon's like, "Holy crap! Is that Batman on a dragon?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's Batman on a dragon."
Yeah. So it's been a while, so I couldn't remember where the dragon had come from. But I do remember there was one, but I don't remember the story details about it. Bruce, it's good to see you. You tried to kill me, brother. What, brother? So, like, Kal-El must have been being impersonated for a while. Like, it'll be interesting to see, like, if there is a time frame established where you can discern where these manipulations started to take place. That would be really cool if something like that were revealed over the next few issues. Constantine, Lois running to Constantine. Look around, nothing makes sense. Green Man turning on us. The L princes at odds. You have manipulated others for years. Surely you can recognize when it's happening to you. He says, yes, I definitely feel like I'm being conned. And we get to the dungeon, Queen Lara, King Shark talking, and she starts to incinerate the prisoners, which I thought was nuts, but I didn't think it was her at this point. You know, but it's definitely, it's definitely going to anger some people just by incinerating locked up prisoners like that.
I mean, the King Shark one, of course I read King Shark in Ron Funch voice. So
that would be kind of funny. That actually didn't cross my mind.
Dude, that's the only King Shark I recognize right now. Okay.
Right.
I'm not doing.
Well, I wasn't doing it in Sylvester Stallone's voice. I was just kind of doing it in like a, I don't know, a Street Shark's voice. Like a Street Shark's voice or something.
I guess that makes the most sense.
Right.
King
Oliver
Shark
and
is
Dinah.
a shark.
Right. Yeah. That voice. That's the one.
Yeah. I like
Oliver tells. Right. Oliver tells Dinah to aim that way, and she screams, blows open the cells, sends Lara flying, screams some more through the wall, and reveals the armory. And he says, I'm an archer. I lost an arm. How do you expect me to draw a bow? Use a crossbow. That's actually a very elegant solution.
Yeah. They're very smart together.
Yeah. Usually people are pretty good at writing their relationship.
Yeah, it's
some
funny.
of their snarkiness towards each other.
You think that would translate well into other mediums too, right?
You would think.
Like, you think that'd be a great like TV banter setup. Like you would just revel in these amazingly produced, created characters. Oh man!
But we get some random tech chick. You know what? It was somebody who always wanted Chloe to end up with Clark. That's who wrote Felicity's character. That's what happened there.
Yep.
They open a hole in the wall. It's a whole damn war. Lara comes flying in. And then we get Lara and Lara face to face. And the rings, flee now. And Alfred says, use fire. He says, Bruce says, what? And they shoot Queen Lara with fire arrows, which I think is really awesome. Oliver running through, catching his arrow on fire and shooting the queen.
Yes.
But then we see the fire hurting it, like looks like flesh melting away, burning away maybe, and it's revealed it's a white Martian, but they are demons after it. And you got Zala and Zara, I think, and Kal-El chasing it, and it disappears. Where does it go? What was that? And this here, we got Alfred. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know they were here. Alfred, what are you talking about? You know I am the last survivor of a war, Bruce. That war was not on this world. And we've got Alfred is a Martian Manhunter.
Dude, that's when I was like...
Green Man.
That's when I was like, oh my gosh. That's when I was like pumped. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, James has to read this. I can't say anything. I'm like, I appreciate
not getting spoiled, because that's I scrolled down. I was like, oh, That is sweet. As soon as he said, "I'm the last survivor of a war,"
I gasped.
The white
got excited in the
Martians.
car. The kids were like, "What?" So then I had to explain to them what's going on in the story, and they're like, "Oh, cool." I'm like, I know, right? So that's our comic for the week. And I don't think we have anything next week.
It is a great comic.
Oh, it is.
It is great.
Probably the one. It's one I look forward to the most. But now, after a 2-year hiatus, we are going to dive back into discussing the animated series, The Legion of Superheroes. This ran in 2006, 2007, same time on like the CW, Kids WB, when Crypto and stuff was there, and it kind of just got lost in the shuffle. You know, and you think that this would have popped, with the Superman Returns and everything, but this show just never really, I think, found its footing, and some people forget it even existed. And we started this back on DC Universe because we wanted to do a new series, and it's kind of like a backup, and it was one that neither of us had watched completely, and we chose it because it'd be fun to explore. And then DC Universe, and then DC Universe disappeared, and it wasn't on any other streamer. And then over the past year, you and I both bought it on Amazon on sale for the complete series on Blu-ray. So, and then like you said, by that time we had gotten on to Superboy, and we had Superman and Lois and everything going on. So here we are back. And what's funny is we were looking at the list of episodes and what number order they are online is not the same list that's on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray has the order a little different. So James and I did watch the same 2 episodes, but I ended up watching an extra one because I was trying to figure that out. So we watched episodes Lightning Storm and Child's Play.
Yes, we did.
Da-da-da.
And it was on the disc, it's Child's Play first, and then Lightning Storm next.
Yes. And if you look at the order, it should have been Brain Drain, then Lightning Storm. But on the disc, Brain Drain is the next episode on disc 2 after Child's Play. So, just some fun little stuff going on here. But let me give you a synopsis of Child's Play. A young sorcerer arrives on Earth and causes a heap of trouble. In an effort to send him home, Superman learns of his vulnerability to magic, while Phantom Girl puts her diplomatic skills to the test as she travels to the sorcerer's secret world to ask for help. All right, James, take it away. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, when it started and everything, I thought it was going to be like a mixie from the 31st century. Not really ended up being the case.
Right, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, this is a Mixus Pitalik type character. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but it's not. There's a planet full of magic people, and they have specific rules in place. Of course, they're weird. They have I don't know, somebody, like, because Phantom Girl steps foot on the planet, they declare war.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, like, it's not made clear.
Yeah, because she invaded their space. They're like, you invaded us, so this is a declaration of war. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
What I found fascinating was they represent the United Planets. I thought the whole United Planet thing was some new big thing in comics that they came up with John and everything.
I think that was something from the Legion, more from the future. And I think what they did by tying John to be like the Superboy the Superman that they idolized, being that it was his idea to create the United Planets in the first place. I think that's kind of how they tied it together with the current story, with John being who he is.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense. And as we've stated, I've never been a big Legion fan. I've never followed the Legion. I'm not a fan of when the Legion, like that whole, like, basically this storyline of the Legion taking Superboy into the future, training him, and then bringing him back kind of thing. It's not my thing. But we are reviewing the show, and I'm giving an open mind, so. I did enjoy the episode. I mean, it was fun. What's fun is the kids dialed into the series. They both sat down with me, and when we record again with our next episode, Solomon actually wants to join and talk about the episodes because they both got interested in watching the Legion episodes with me. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Judah came in. He was interested. He was watching it when I had put it on.
But I mean, other than it kind of being not mixy, it was a cool episode. Especially with Phantom Girl. You know, we learned that her mom had traveled to Zorg, whatever, years ago, and tried to open peace, and it just didn't work because they were just too weird of people for them to really get through.
Yeah.
And then what's funny is at the end, when they're like patching up and everything, they're like, now to talk of your terms of surrender. And her mom's like, surrender.
Yeah. So he gave her a little wink too when he said surrender. Yeah, she just like thought of the quickest way to stop what was happening.
And she did what she could. I mean, what you gonna do, huh?
Yep.
But yeah, let's see here. Zix was the boy, and there are quick like references to Green Lantern's power battery and the Dr. Fate helmet. But the other episode we watched was Lightning Storm. What did you think about this one?
Well, I admit I was pulled in and out of this one while I was trying to watch it. But I did like the return of Lightning Lad's brother.
Yes.
I did like the return of him, seeing him again, because last time I believe he worked with the Fatal Five or something.
Yep, and they referenced the Fatal Five again. Because that's what I was like. I was like, wait a minute, isn't there a Fatal Five tie into this? And, basically the point of this episode is, much to the Legion's disappointment, Lightning Lad accepts an invitation to join an older, cooler team. Once there, however, Lightning Lad realizes these new heroes aren't exactly what they seem. Now caught between the Legion and his new friends, Lightning Lad must decide once and for all where his loyalties lie. Like you said, he had to go
Which
up
I think
his
we
brother.
knew where it was.
Oh, yeah. There really wasn't a competition of who I thought was, Lightning Lad was going to align with. And, I pointed out to the kids as we're watching this, I'm like, could you imagine having to fight your brother? And how that would be. And they're like, no. I'm like, yeah, could you imagine? You have to fight your brother or your sister. And they're like, wow, that would suck. I'm like, yeah, it would. My kids are deep. But it was good because I like at the end, we have the scene where Lightning Lad's helping, and his brother basically, you know, quote unquote, defeats him, stops him, and he's like pinned under something, and Superman comes up to him, and Lightning Lad says something to Superman about, does that mean you'll take me back? And Superman says, to me, you never left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a Superman. That's a Superman quote right there. That's who he is. And that's, you know, and that's a good lesson, like, for the kids too. Just, you know, these characters, and, you know, getting exposure to any of the kind of the good lessons that you can learn from Superman.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to exploring more of this. It's fun. This chapter of Superman cartoons that I've never explored from a more modern age. Like, later on this year, we're gonna do the Ruby Spears cartoons. All, you know, while they're still on Tubi. I own them, but we'll get through those and just kind of look at, you know, Superman through the ages, because we've done some of the bigger stuff, and eventually we'll get to more of Superman the Animated Series. But, you know, Nate's got that great podcast of his where he went through that, so we don't need to be stepping on no toes.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to when we eventually do talk about it. You know, that was definitely my favorite animated series.
And I mean, and we've touched on it. You know, that's been the thing, is we've done these things where we've gone and done like the pilot episode or something like that. So we've had our moments where we've touched on these shows and things that we love. And I look forward to, you know, like you said, doing more of it, and we'll figure something out later on down the line. Maybe we'll make like a mixtape or something series. But I look forward to more of the Legion, even though I'm not really a Legion fan. I have my Legion ring though.
It's a good it's a good show. It's a good cartoon. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's not like the favorite era for you, maybe even for us, because I do kind of appreciate this more. You know what I mean? The what is currently in comics, the John Kent. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, even though I prefer that as of right now, like, I enjoy this show for what it is. I was just thinking when I watched it, I was like, you know, I know he grows older and everything. Like, is he supposed to go back at the same time that he left, and he's suddenly like 2 years older and overnight?
I mean, they do some stuff like in season 2, and that's why I'm because they do kind of their take on a version of like a Superboy Prime, and that's kind of why I'm actually excited for season 2. Because I do want to do a special episode eventually just on Superboy Prime, because I think he's kind of fascinating. Especially what they did with him with the whole Dark Knight's death metal and stuff. So. But yeah, Legion.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Legion.
Yeah,
Legion
I had fun. I had fun watching it, you know. Allura was at that time like screaming crazy, so I got pulled in and out. she's been sick today, so she's been in a mood.
No, poor girl. Now we were actually watching it as a family, the 4 of us, and eating dinner, going over it. So I kind of had to take care of a couple of things, but I could hear it because having it on my Blu-ray, it means that the speakers are hooked up to it. So doesn't matter where I am in the house, I can clearly hear everything.
There you go.
So, all right, man. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode here. We'll be back with some more stuff next week. Any final thoughts, Mr. James Tastic? James Tastic.
James Tastic. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some more Legion. I can't wait to see what happens in Dark Knights of Steel 10.
Yeah.
And I kind of took a little break, not fully by choice, but just because of being busy. But I haven't read that much this year so far. Maybe like a handful of issues of different things, but be jumping back into my DC Universe Infinite Ultra and catch back up on that. I read a lot of books in 2 months, so.
Well, James, it's only 8 days in. I think you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Well, good night, everybody, and stay safe, and remember. We're going to press pause and hear a few words from our other podcasts on Press Play Podcast Network.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month, and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us, and then listen in.
If you are like Tyler and James and can't get enough Super Talk, check out these other podcasts. Digging for Kryptonite, Supergirl Radio, The Last Sons of Krypton, the Superboy Legacy Podcast, All-Star Superfans, Superman the Animated Podcast, The Aspiring Kryptonians, Always Hold On to Smallville, The Geek of Steel, and Truth, Justice, and Hope.
Remember to check out Krypton Report on all social media platforms. Go to linktree.com/Krypton Report. You find out all of our information. $1 a month. You'll get extra special content that you don't get on the main show, like movie commentaries and whatever else comes out of our mouths. So check it out, patreon.com/Krypton Report.
This is Dan Jurgens, and if you want to have a good time, keep listening to the Krypton Report.
Look up in the sky.
We just want to say, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please check out other podcasts on the Press Play Podcast Network.